Okay, so good morning, everyone. I think we'll start, and those who haven't joined will catch up with us as we continue. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sawa sawa. So today Charles will not be in the session today. We're with Peter, and we'll be taking you through marketing communications. So I'm going to cover some parts, and then Peter will give also insight in other parts. I hope everyone can see my screen. Maybe
Yes, we can see.
just confirm. Okay, sawa sawa. Okay, sawa sawa. So today we're going to look into marketing communication. And this is basically how our businesses communicate value proposition to our different targets, as we all have different businesses, of course. So we have our target audience. And so basically this is about how we communicate about our business to our potential customers and consumers. And the message that actually we're communicating is why a consumer should buy our products or our different services. So that is what we're going to cover in marketing communication. And we can we it's going to be like a discussion, so we can have different insights on, from all of you guys as we move on. Yeah, so these are the learning objectives. Things we're going to cover. We're going to talk about the purpose of marketing communication. You're going to understand the concept of branding and all about brand awareness. And then we're going to talk about also the information processing model that we use in our different businesses. And then also we're going to be looking into the barriers to effective marketing communication using different communication models, and also learn the steps in developing effective marketing communications. Okay, so we're going to start when you talk about marketing. So basically marketing, this is something that we all are aware of, marketing. So it's about just creating value for customers and building lasting relationships with them. Because in marketing, it's more than just like selling a product. It's about understanding and meeting our different audience needs or customer needs. They always say customer is the king, and we have different customers as we all have different businesses. So marketing is how are we going to meet their needs? How are you going to meet your customer needs? You see, we have different brands where we have different brands and different businesses where you see kuna watu they rebrand. Let's say like C Naturals, Juzi, she was rebranding. You see, and so the importance of rebranding or trying to actually upgrade your products in a ways is to meet the customer needs. So in marketing, this is basically trying to build that long lasting relationship with customers. We have customers that have become like your daily people, and there's also those potential that you are trying to attract. So marketing is basically trying to see how you can bring all them together and actually have a long lasting relationship with them. um, and we all do marketing in different ways, and this helps our businesses grow, driving awareness, creating more sales in our business, and all that. And we have different strategies of how we market our different products. And so maybe one of you maybe could share now in terms of marketing, how do you market your business, or what type of strategies do you use to make your brand known or to sell your products? So maybe we can have someone share with us how they do that. Maybe Mercy, Caroline, anyone?
Sorry, Jess, please repeat the question.
I was asking now, in terms of marketing now, we have the different strategies that we use to market our products, right? So I was asking maybe if one could share how they do it, like in terms of now your business.
You're breaking.
Let me. Hey, hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's now good.
Oh, okay, sawa sawa. I was asking now in terms of our different businesses that we have, what are some of the marketing strategies that you use, or some of the marketing, tools that you use that are working for you in terms now of your business that you can like share?
Well, for me, I mostly use social media. That is WhatsApp, Facebook. Although my presence on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok is still not quite developed. But I mostly use also WhatsApp. I send messages to people to inform them of new products, reminders to check out our catalog. I use word of mouth. Whenever I'm going to a meeting or a function, I always carry my products. Even family functions, I always carry my products. Even church, I carry my products and reach out to people. I also market myself at exhibitions and trade fairs.
Yeah. Nice. Anyone else who can share how they do it? Geoffrey, Alan, Elizabeth?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. On my side, I normally use social media most of the time, and word of mouth to show my product most of the people. Also, even at schools, I normally go with my product to explain to them or to show. Because on my side, my product most of the people they normally like to see, e.g. like those handbags, belts, so they can recommend on that. Only that. Thanks.
Okay. Nice. Thank you.
Jessica, for
Okay.
for Maggie's, we have different marketing tools for different categories. For example, in like institutions, I normally prefer to give them like a website. Then like the other general walk-in or just customers, it is mostly on Facebook and Instagram. But we also do a bit of when we go for exhibitions just to sensitize people and create awareness of our products. And then the other one is also referrals. You tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so see, we have different methods of marketing. So it's most of us in Akwanga using the social media platform, which is mostly the digital marketing, and also we have the traditional one, where there's word of mouth. You use referrals, you go to exhibitions one-on-one, which is if you combine the two, it's actually something that really works. And in terms of now social media, we have the different platforms. Tuko na WhatsApp, we have Facebook, Instagram, which are free. But we also have, like Elizabeth has talked about, website, or maybe you reach a place where you create a website for your business or your, yeah. So we also have, when you have a website, that's also a way of you will use to continue marketing now your product. Okay, let us look into marketing communication. So when you talk about marketing communication, this is just like a link between your business and your customers, actually, because when we actually look into marketing, marketing is what holds a business, or you can say marketing is what keeps your business going, right? Because let's say you have a business and you're actually not marketing, because we've talked about the different ways that we use to market our own businesses. Imagine if we couldn't be doing that. Uko tuna biashara hapo na umenyamaza, of course it can't move forward. So it's a key thing that we all use to continue, growing our own businesses. So when you talk of marketing communication, this is the link between our products, what we offer to the customers, and actually what our customers want. So this you say the product information and the target audience. It's as simple as that. The information is now the link between the product and our target audience. Those are our returning customers and our potential customers, all of them. And the communication is like kama zenye tumesema tu, using of social media. We use WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, also using of the traditional way, word of mouth. We have referrals, like Carolina shared, like she goes everywhere with her products, even in a family function, you see. So like you walk, it's like she's like a walking brand of her own. So she goes everywhere with it. So yeah, that is in marketing communication.
And when I come to, yes, sorry. And when I come to Eldohub for training, like tomorrow, I carry and I will still tell you, even if you know about my brand.
I know, yeah.
I will begin with the guys at the reception.
Yes. I know. Yeah, so, and I think something that I have realized mostly is that in as much as we use the digital marketing forms, using of different social media platforms to market our business, I feel like also the traditional way of marketing, like the word of mouth, person to person, is more effective. Ama, what do you think? Maybe it's natural, so you can tell us about it. Sorry?
Well, what I can say, I cannot really say that word of mouth is more effective, but what I know is with word of mouth, it's very easy to close a sale.
Ah, okay.
It's very easy to, it may not reach many people, but it's difficult for me to speak to you about my product and you fail to pick even a lip balm. Hata kama pesa hakuna, unachukua ile kidogo.
Oh, okay.
Rather than on social media where I'm not in with someone and they're not seeing me. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in social media, it's more of creating the awareness, right, to people. Cynthia?
For me, I do Mursika. And I realize my social media really doesn't work for me. I think I'm more of word of mouth and in-person experience kind of thing. Because I look at, even at the exhibitions we have done, someone will come, Mursik, you can't sell online. Like you have
sure.
to it. So I've really struggled with converting social media sales. And then I realized you can't, there's the brand awareness and brand presence online,
Yes,
but it's rarely to
into sell. It doesn't convert into a sell. But if you find me, like someone would see me, there's a guy who comes to Zion Mall, and every time he passes by, he tells me, I'm your fan on Facebook. I see your stories. I identify with your stories. So for me, it works both ways. Social media doesn't really convert into sales per se, but just people knowing that ukitaka mursik tafuta Mercy LD works. But it doesn't convert ASAP, as in it doesn't convert into brand awareness, yes, but it doesn't convert into sales. Like I can rarely sell my mursik online, but just being there and having an active social media page and just creating brand presence works for me. But the actual sales happen on the ground. Like someone will say, nilikuona UOE, nilikuona tao, nimeona uko around. That's what works.
Thank you for that insight. So I think both of them.
Yes, allow me to add something to what Mercy is saying.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Social media is challenging, even for me, because I've noticed even the times when I used to do paid adverts on Facebook, I would spend my whole day responding to inquiries, but I would hardly convert that into a sale. So I actually even just gave up doing paid ads because they were not translating into sales. But of course, you get the attention. People reach out to you. People like to a small extent they would follow and like the page, but converting it into a sale is just So I really feel what Mursik is saying.
Okay, so thank you for those insights. So I feel like both of them work. Digital marketing is all about the awareness part, but now sales is more of qua ground, something like that. Yeah, but we all need social media because hiyo sasa ndio imekuwa the main channel for all of us to share information. So in as much as when you umesema either at Google the ads maybe they're not promoting, I feel like mostly it's just awareness, so they can be like they can convert into sales. I feel like in the digital marketing they convert into sales but not immediately. It will just create awareness, be like, there's this lady who sells, or there's this company that sells, maybe these products and everything. But in time, I think it builds a long-term awareness of what you're doing and who you are.
For me, when I was starting out on digital marketing, a friend told me the motivation should be anytime someone searches Mursik on social media, your name should come out. But then I looked at the cost, like your name should be synonymous to your brand. But I look at the cost of having a website and running it and having digitally paid ads and managing them. For me, it looks like either I'm broke or I don't know how to spend money, because I really don't find there's someone who wanted to manage my social media pages at 10K a month. And I'm looking at it and asking, even if I invest for 6 months, what's the return for me? Because yes, I'd want to be that person when you search on even Google, even what is it called? Google Business. So for me, I'm thinking I'd rather invest in, as in I don't have a budget for digital marketing because I don't think it works for me. So I'll do a post here, I'll do a post there, I'll schedule posts. I'll be on Google Business, Google My Business. But I don't think investing in terms of paying paid advert works. I'd rather do the small organic growth where I look at pictures and post and talk about my business. So eventually I'll be that brand that shows up when you ask for Mursik. But for me, paid ads don't work.
Okay. So I'm sure every one of us here has maybe different insight from actually what Caroline and maybe Mercy has shared. So we all have different things that work for us. mostly maybe say traditional works for me best more than the digital one. So all we need to do is like you decide on what product information to share and what channels best suits you. Like you see, person to person, that is okay. Maybe some maybe you may benefit from the online, because right now even we see we have so many online stores that sell different things, and you can see for them maybe that works for them. Say like at a semi Jumia mostly they use, it's an online store. So maybe for them mostly it is the online thing that works. So it's like just choose what works for you and you go with it. Okay, sawa. Thank you for sharing for your insights on that. I feel they're going to be helpful to someone. So we're going to look also to brand awareness. So brand awareness, this is something that is crucial. I feel this is the first step in getting consumers to recognize and recall our brand. In branding, we talk about logo, we talk about the name of your business, we talk about, you see, what is your business about, the picture, that is the face of your business. A brand is the face of your business. So it includes the logo, it includes the name of your business. Like I was giving an example of Caroline just the other day. You are like, I think it was about the logo, changing the logo of your business. So maybe you can share with us, or why did you want to change or maybe upgrade the logo of your business? Hi, Carol. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can. I went off a bit. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So I was asking in terms now of brand awareness. On branding, of course, the name of your business, the logo you use, the colors you use, all that. So just recently you are trying to change the branding of your business. So maybe you can share maybe a few insights on why were you changing, or upgrading, something like that.
You mean the rebranding?
Yes, the rebranding. Yeah, the rebranding now.
Yeah, okay. I can say my brand has gone through phases. Actually, when you look at my first photos, I laugh at myself. But I've been improving based on what I perceive to be what sells best. I've changed my logo and also colors over time. I remember when I started, I had all black containers, packaging. Then later on, I shifted to all white. And I noticed that when I'm at an exhibition or when I post my photos, people would ask whether that is medicine, yogurt, like my soaps. People would ask whether that is on a slice za keki. So they didn't look like skincare. And then I also, on some program, I got a business advisor who told me clearly, hii chupa zako zinakaa kama za dawa ama yogurt, haikai kama skincare. So I had to now start thinking, trying to make changes so that my product, when someone looks at them, they immediately understand that that is skincare. And then also the way, just to be able to pass the message. Even when you look at the way I at first had named my products, I think my educational background had affected much of what I was putting out there. And so someone ever told me, hii inakaa kama biology. Yeah, so I had to shift my product from that of a biologist to that of an entrepreneur. And I believe I'm still making changes. This is not final. So those are some of the reasons why I had to change my logo, my colors, and then just the general appearance of my product, so that it's easy for customers to recognize what they are. I was at an event, and one of the guys who was doing photography, when he saw my products, I think Nani Liz was at that event, the Women in Manufacturing event. When the guy who was doing photography for that day saw my products, he just said, I see you need help with your color codes. Yeah, so for me, every time someone gives feedback, I make sure I act on it. So it has been a result of feedback and my own observation of how customers look at the brand. Yeah. So that's why I've had to change.
Ah, nice. So it keeps getting better and better from, of course, when you started to now. Because I feel like in a business, like ukiangalia the logos maybe that you started with since day one up until now, imekuwa ikishift from, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah, so when you talk of brand awareness, of course, how Caroline has shared is mostly about attracting consumers and, retaining customers and improving. Actually, you upgrade yourself. You can't be umebaki tu in the same position. You continue upgrading from time to time. So when you talk about brand recognition, yeah, and brand recall. So when you talk about brand recognition, this is basically when like a customer sees your logo or a product and can immediately identify it. Kama tuseme, I was thinking, actually the other day I was thinking about Kiwi. Kiwi, I don't feel like Kiwi inakwanga, say, a brand that is inakwanga advertised mostly, but it's just something that, say hata ukienda, maybe you're buying yeah, hiyo Kiwi rangi ya viatu, you go to maybe to a supermarket or to a shop, na rangi zote za viatu utaita tu Kiwi, like their logo or brand yao ime stand out ile, they don't need like to advertise every time or do that. It's something that ime stand out. So you talk about brand recognition, this is where customers sees your logo or your product and can easily like in identify, like, yeah, this is Kiwi or this is Coca-Cola, something like that. When you talk about brand recall, this is when your customers can remember your brand without seeing it. Hiyo tu kwa mind yao wanakumbuka hivyo tu, like say C Naturals, maybe even some people call you just C Naturals instead of Caroline. They just like have that. If they call you that, that is like they recall your brand without even seeing it or something. It's just like in their mind. So it is brand awareness. Actually, branding of your business is something that is so crucial, because the name you use, the logos you use, and all that is what the customers will remember, or what the customers will, apart from, of course, the service, service, how you relate to your customers and everything. Branding is also something that will actually make your business stand out, or actually, make your business be in your customers' mind. Mtu anajua, si natural, or happy music, something like that.
Umepotea.
Okay. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone else who can share maybe some insights on branding? Or maybe have you been just using the same branding tangu since uanze, ama how has it been? I would like to hear from a guy now. We've had ladies speak. I'd like to hear from maybe Oyugi or Alan, someone else who can share.
As the guys organize themselves,
Uh-huh.
I just have advice from my design guy.
Okay.
As early as you can, kindly invest in a professional who can do for you your brand, because a brand is like an outfit for a business. Your first impression matters, and that's what will stick in people's minds. And you only know that your brand is doing well when it can be identified apart from you. Like anytime we do events, very few people call me Magasi, they call me Happy Mursik, or they call me Ule Msichana wa Mursik, because my brand shouts louder than I do. So please invest in a graphics designer who understands colors, who understands your brand, and can do something for you that is expensive, yes, but long term it makes a lot of sense for your business. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that advice and insight on that.
Okay. Can I share something?
Yes, Ogi, please share.
So I have used the same brand from the start. Active Hub has been the same logo, the same colors from the very start. And I think three things have worked out for our brand. One, I agree with you that for branding, one, there has to be the recognition of the brand, but also the recall, that people are able to relate with your brand. I find one is simplicity. Just keep it simple. Yeah, the brand should not be something very complicated. Keep it simple, whether it's the colors, whether it is the message that you want people to derive from it, or the experience that you want people to derive from it. Keep it simple. Secondly, be consistent. Be very, very consistent with your communications around who you are, around what your values are, around what you do, and what your team looks like. Even the things we were learning in the BMC, the business model canvas, that your brand actually amplifies that or embodies all of that, and keep that messaging consistent. Thirdly is just be findable. Be findable. People relate with brands that are visible. Be visible, be findable. So whether that means knocking doors to talk about what you do, whether it means printing it up on promotional materials as brochures or flyers and spreading it out, or whether that means investing in social media and being consistent in your messaging there and telling of your story. I think that is important. And lastly is also to just have testimonials, and people talk about, generate conversations around your brand that are not from your end, that actually started by other people who have interacted with your brand. That, of course, helps you with feedback about how your brand is doing. But most importantly, it communicates to others who do not know, because brands grow mainly also based on referrals. That someone who has interacted with your brand, who had a good, what we call customer experience with that particular brand, then is happy to talk about it to another person. So, for example, here in Kitale, where our hub is, naturally, we just grew into a space where if you came to the city and you want a trainer, or you want someone who can do capacity building or team building, they most likely will ask you to go look for Coach Oyugi and to go look for Active Hub. We have ensured that we've painted it almost on all WhatsApp places. We've joined almost all available WhatsApp groups that we are aware of in our county, and we are visible there. Like we have a presence. We would post almost twice or thrice a week. So our presence is actually felt. Our events are known. The city can see what we are doing. Yeah, it does not matter whether you're in the government or you're in the civic sector, we would ensure that all those spaces for us are covered. So I find that very important. So just to repeat, what I found to work out for us is simplicity, whether it's of the colors, of the design, of the placement, of the look of that logo, or the feel of it. Just keep everything simple. Secondly, be very consistent, whether it's your marketing or your messaging or your posting, just be consistent. And number three, be findable. Just be somewhere people can find you, be visible. Your presence should be felt so that people are able to also interact with you. Don't be a stranger in the place where you work. Be visible, be very visible. That has helped us. And I would say ActiveHub as a brand has really done very well in this region. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much for that, for those points. I hope maybe you have noted down. I actually have noted them down. Yeah, about simplicity. I feel like having something that's just simple that works for you is the best memorable. We talk about brand recall because something that is simple is easy to recall for anyone. So thank you for that. Thank you also, Mercy, for the insight that you shared and on about brand recall. It's actually so nice that I've loved what you said about your brand actually shouts more than your name. Mtu akisema ule, you know, wa Mursik, you know, it is now more audible, more out there, more than you. And yeah, so thank you so much for that. Yeah, so when you talk about a name that brand, so you get shared something simple, something memorable, something that is, you know, easy to recall even for people. Yeah, and also brand message, same as brand name. Now that is the name of your company, and the brand message, like say Safaricom Twaweza, that is something that is simple, something that is easy recalled, and something that is just in our mind, it may stick in our mind like evil. And actually I feel like having that for your business is really great. Having that for your business, people referring to you according to your business, is something that is really great. I also loved something that Oyugi, you've talked about consistency. Consistency actually makes, you can, unaweza ona something doesn't work for you or something that is not picking up. Let's say you're doing digital marketing and na haija pick up, but I feel like consistency, doing it over and over again, it's eventually going to pick up. So consistency actually is something that you should really try to be consistent in whatever you share, whatever message you portray, whatever you know, information you're sharing to your potential customers. Because it may not work for a month or two, but maybe if you continue for a bit more, of a few months later, utaona some results of it. So you talk about name the brand message that you use should be something that is simple, memorable, something that gives your business some level of recognition, and that is what could identify in terms of now your business. Yeah, we also talk, when you talk about brand image, mostly it refers to the overall perceptions, say consumers have about your brand. What are consumers, what are your customers saying about your brand based on now their experiences and interactions with you? This is narrows down into the customer service that you have. Oyugi has talked about feedback, because feedback actually is something that improves our business in different ways, because through feedback from your customers is what makes you now improve on this thing. And yeah, I feel like feedback is a tool that is really say small, but something that really improves, because as you talk about customer is king and you listen to their feedback, say, oh, about this, there's this product that like C Naturals has shared that maybe mtu alisema easy, maybe the what do you call it, alisema nini zinakaa kama yogurt, the containers she uses for putting products zake. Someone said inakaa hivyo, but now see through that feedback is when she improved now to maybe a better packaging and something like that. So we talk about brand images, is the experiences, the interaction they've had with you, and what actually they can say about your product. You've ever had bad customer service from maybe a shop, or even say not only just a shop, you go to a shop and the image that you get from there, the service venye amekuhudumia and everything, you just unasemanga tu ile duka yenye, so I feel like brand image, how you serve your customers, how you relate to them, is something that is really, really important. Okay, so in terms of we've talked something on feedback, and maybe we can discuss a little about it. And in terms of the other day we were creating with Caroline's Naturals a Google form on getting feedback, of how she can get feedback. We are looking into Google Forms on how she can get feedbacks from her customers. Maybe we can talk about, someone could share, how do you get feedback from your customers? How do you get feedback from, the service you provided to them? Someone can share on that. Dorothy, Julia, Samuel, anyone maybe give us some insight? We can get a few points from there.
So whenever we have our trainings, or for us, we are a training and mentorship and consultancy firm. So whenever we have these trainings, we always ensure that at the end of every training, whether it is online or physical or in person, that we have a form that captures the learnings for the participants, and the key takeaways, and just basic info about themselves. And then most importantly, some of the areas of growth that they would recommend or suggest for us. And we take those seriously. So the first part is to collect that, whether it's through forms. We also have conversations through our website, where people can actually just drop in and give us suggestions. Also, our social media platforms are open, so people can engage us on social media and give us a feedback. We also use WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp community that is growing for all the people that have been through our trainings. So we allow them to give us feedback also in the community that we have. And also we have people just walk into our space and give us what they think about what we do. Yeah. So, but the most important is not just the feedback they give, but one, the response we give to the feedback that they relay to us. I found out that prompt action on feedback, but most importantly, just being empathetic and thoughtful, makes customers feel that they are valued and that their communication to us really matters. And so that really builds their confidence with our brand, but also helps them to engage more and to refine it. Yeah. So it's not just the communication that they give to you, but also the response that you give in terms of messaging and appreciating the feedback, but also the actions that you take in rectifying the feedback, especially if it's a negative feedback, or enhancing if it's a positive feedback that's given your way. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Oyugi, for that. Maybe someone else could share, how do you get feedback from your customers? Richard, Julia, someone else, maybe give us some insights. Sheila, something you can share with us? Gloria, yes. Gloria, please.
Hi, everyone. I think I haven't spoken in these meetings for a while, but my name is Karen. I work at Popo Farm and we provide mental health care support to corporates and learning institutions from high schools all the way to universities. Now, how we get feedback, I think as the previous speaker has gone, same case, we offer something similar, consulting, trainings. So Google Forms help. And something else we do is we have we request our clients to give us reviews on Google. So maybe immediately after the training, we send the form, and then maybe a day after, we request them to give us reviews on Google. So that's another way we get feedback.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm just looking at the messages right now. Okay, Samuel was sharing his insight about branding. He's saying for our branding, yesterday I realized that our profile photo, as well as the messaging done on the profile was not very professional, and I had to employ the services to a professional photographer from Eldohub to take more professional profile photos, as well as reviewed the messaging. Thank you so much for that insight. Thank you, Gloria. Okay, maybe one more. Geoffrey, you can share with us, how do you get feedback? Grace? Okay, sawa. Moving forward. Thank you for your insights and different tips. We're getting different tips from, and actually having an engagement or actually a discussion is more beneficial rather than just, teaching maybe what, yeah. See naturals, please.
Yeah, I have a question, Jess. With regard, someone has just talked about a profile picture. So I need to hear from you or from people what they think about presenting an image for your company. Like now for me who is doing skincare, or someone else who may need to put a photo. And this is mostly for people who are doing their marketing online. Is it advisable to have the face of the founder on communications, or is it not? When you're going out there to the world concerning the brand, should people know the face behind the brand? Yeah, that's something I've been pondering over.
May I have a try?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, initially when you start, like I remember when we started Active Hub, people didn't know about the hub or what we were doing. And so the business or the organization was mostly associated with the owner, like with me in particular. So when people saw me, they saw Active Hub. And of course, that is what now happens when there's the lady who gave the feedback where your brand is shouting and people know you as your brand. Like when they see you, they see what you do. So initially, I think at the very beginning, that's a very good, very, very good thing. But if it is the only thing that happens long-term into your business, then at some point people begin to repel it. So I think what has worked for our brand in our region is after a while, we don't want to know, people don't want to see like a one-man show. They want to see a team behind it. They want to. Sorry, guys, I was muted.
Just for a few seconds.
Yeah, just for a few
okay.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying, initially when we began, it was easier to just, because I was the only person, so I was everything for the business. And so it was easier when you saw me, you saw the business. So ActiveHub and Coach Oyugi are one and the same thing. And of course, now in those promotionals, you'll see my face and, and I will be talking about the work that we do. But over time, as the work grows, now you have a team. So you start showing the diversity of those that you are having in the team, and also you are reaching different clients. So your representation now begins to show the products that you are giving out, the people that you are serving, and the people that serve that particular vision, so that it is not just a one-man face, a one-man show long term. And I think we got that actually as a feedback. After a while, some of our bold clients began to say, mbona mwezi weka sura ya sisi tukija kwa training, ama mweke sura ya one client that has been very consistent with your brand. Why must it always be your only face? So that feedback came, I think, as we went along, and we found it to be very, very useful. So maybe at the beginning, but as you grow, think through a team, think through the people you are serving, think through the products you're offering, and especially ensure that the photos really, because I've also seen brands where you are a Black African in Kenya, but the picture you have taken is for a Chinese in Japan, or a Japanese or a Chinese. That is like the picture that is communicating your brand. So it also does not give a very good message. So just ensure that it is simple, but it communicates a community, it communicates the values you have, and it communicates especially the products you're selling or services you're giving, and the people that you're also reaching out to. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Jess, kindly. Yes.
Yes.
Please allow me to ask Coach Oyugi. I don't know whether this is too personal, but how long have you been in business? Like after how long did you now know that you need to now recede and bring forward the images of the team and the transition?
I think it became progressive. So we didn't start as a business. We started more as first of all, it was just a personal initiative for mentoring and coaching young people. So I wasn't charging any money out of it, and it wasn't registered. And I did that for a couple of years, 2 or 3, and then after that I registered it as a CBO. So we went the empowerment way, and we had a lot of young men and young women who were coming into our programs. Then during that time, SMEs began to also ask us to do trainings, different trainings for them, which we were doing pro bono. And then we thought, no, we need to, and this was given to us by the Council of Eldohub. Magdalene challenged us to think through whether we could now register this as a business. So I went ahead and now registered the business name, and then also later on now converted it into a private company. But I think after the first 2 years, it just became too monotonous to only have my face in what we were doing. We already had stories, lots of stories to tell, beautiful stories of young people who were reaching out to, who were starting businesses or finding jobs because of our work. There were stories of SMEs that we were already touching. So it became, my story became weaker in the face of their stories. So their stories became actually a bigger value proposition for us than my own story in the journey. So I think it was year 1, year 2, the second year especially, that we started feeling the messaging should change. And by the time we were getting to year 3, it was now clear that if we continue just having our face, maybe we are hindering those who want to identify also better with our brand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Oyugi, for that insight. Maybe someone else could share. Okay, and this now to Oyugi, you talked about you started with your face when you started. Was it all about maybe the trust and credibility to make the awareness that this organization or this company is behind this face, to build that trust between you and your consumers, or you and your customers? Was it partly maybe about that?
Yeah, so I think it was 4 things for me, or 3 majorly. One was community. We needed to create a community, but community for a business begins with the owner, I think. So you are the first buyer of your product, and then the rest of the people now come after you. So I wanted to build community, and the community started with my friends, my family members, people that I was meeting in other circles that knew me at a personal level, because that's where it begins. And then now from there, it went to the other people. Secondly, it was also a communication of value. The core values for a company and the core values for our business that are embodied at the beginning and only modeled and visible through the owner of the business. So if we talked about integrity, people would know ActiveHub as having integrity because they met a man who has integrity, who runs the business. Or if we talk about excellence, that they would know that ActiveHub is excellent because they met a man who runs the business who is excellent. So initially it was because of that community, then the value issue, the issue of character for the business. The third thing was the competence, the experience with meeting us, that you would meet. If you met me, you met my expertise. If you met me, you met the skills that I had, you met my trainings, you met my experiences, my exposure, and I brought that to you as a client. So then that would communicate our value proposition to you and our capacity. So then people would know that our business had the capacity. And then the last thing I think for me was also just the ecosystem, what do you call it? Like a service we are giving. The products or the services we were giving were embodied in my passions at that particular time. So they have, of course, now grown as we grow a team, team insights, market-driven demand on certain things that now the company needs to build. But initially, sometimes it was mostly just the passion of the person, plus a little of what you had seen in the market. So I think also that was very useful, that we were able to communicate the heartbeat of our business, and it was embodied in me. But now that has been replicated in the team I work with because of trainings, and by modeling that to them, and by just championing them and sending them out to get that done. So now I think I've been able to now replicate myself into a couple of other people. So it does not have to just be me now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I hope not only Carol, all of us have gotten some insight from the question that Carol had asked about. Okay, moving on to creating preferences. So when you talk about creating preferences, this is basically how consumers actively choose your brand over others due to some positive association or some experiences and loyalty that one has actually with your company or with your brand. So talking about creating preferences, we can say that this is something that is critical to a critical step forward towards long-term customer retention and also repeat purchases. So talking of now creating preferences, this actually depends or now the consumer, now me, the customer. This depends on me. This depends on me whether I will be coming back to buy another product from you. It depends on me whether I will be loyal to your customer. Kuna wale customers when they can't buy anywhere else if not from you, even if you don't have the product right now, they rather wait. They rather wait rather than maybe purchasing maybe from someone else. So in terms of now loyalty customers or those return purchases, maybe someone could share how do you do it, or how did you like have any step or any strategy on how to retain your customers, or was it just like walipenda your product and now they're coming back for something, for another one? Now these are for your loyal customers. Maybe someone could share, and anyone? Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. So I'm just asking in terms of now the preference, the customers has chosen your product. So how was it for you? Maybe how was it for you for the returning purchases or the real customers? Did they just like your product and now they keep coming back for it? Or did you use like, was any form or any strategy in between there to now make it to continue, to keep the customer coming back? How was it? Maybe just a short insight on that. Maybe Carol, you could share maybe just a tip from that. How was it for you, or how is it for you?
We, Jess, nimeongea sana. I will nominate people to talk. Watu kama Magis Kienyeji should tell us. I'm not even sure. I am not even sure whether I have the correct response. But for me, one of the ways I've ensured I keep my customers, when I sell to them, I tell them, because we have a return bottle policy, because we are doing reuse and recycling. So I normally tell them, when you keep your container well and bring it next time, I'm going to discount, because I take back my containers at 50 shillings. So it's more of like a refilling. So someone would feel, at least the second purchase will be cheaper. And then also, of course, there are those cases where people have been repeat customers because they liked the product. And I did not have anything in between. I just sold. And after they used, they said, this was good. They come for it again. And then there are these customers who have always given referrals, like they buy from me, they use the product, and they tell another person. Once you win me a customer, there's always a reward. Yeah, so these particular customers always want to keep with my brand because there's always a reward. Like if you give me five sales, I give you a product of your choice for free, Yeah, so yes.
Thank you for that.
And maybe just to add, like for my field of skincare, I know that the majority of my customers are ladies. I know that a lot of people are very impatient. They want to see results. Like if you say this is a brightening cream, They want to use it on Monday and on Wednesday, have a bright face, you know, or else they say it's not working. But what I've done is I always speak with my customers and assure them that I will work with them. I encourage them to be patient and I will work with them. Some of them hata wametumia mafuta chupa ya 3 ndio wanaanza kuona result. You know, sometimes it also depends on like, let me use an example of something like stretch marks. It depends on how many years you've been having those stretch marks. It may be difficult to just clear them within 1 month. So I always tell them, don't be impatient, just be patient and consistent. So we walk through it, even up to 3 months, ndio mtu anaanza kuona. So you see, during that period, this person is actually a repeat customer, because the moment they finish their jar of cream, they will come for another and come for another. Yeah, so I make sure that I'm engaged with them. Although I'm not saying that I do this so well, sometimes it's overwhelming. I even forget to reach out to certain customers sometimes, yeah. So that's what I was saying, someone else could share.
Thank you, Carol, for that. Maybe we can look into sales cycle. So this is basically talking about the buying process from when a customer hears about your product to all the way to now purchasing the product. Because we have like a few stages in there in between for them to be able to reach to that part where yanasema, wacha nijaribu hii. Okay, so when you talk about the stages, talking about the stages of the buying process. The process actually starts with awareness. This is, of course, through now the marketing communications that we've been discussing all through since the session started. Now moving into consideration, when you hear about someone's product, the customer now has that period or moment of consideration. Should I be able to buy this, or should I, there's that consideration moment. And then you talk about now the preference. You've talked about now the customer choosing your product over that someone else's brand. So now from the preference, when the consumer chooses your brand, and finally there is now the purchase. So you can say the buying process has these stages where there's awareness, then consideration, and then you talk of preference, and then now finally purchasing the product. And each of these stages require different types of communication to get the customer along their journey. Because when a customer now is maybe considering to buy your product, there's that convincing, you have to convince them about, you can try this, and this is good for this. There's that convincing. So every stage of them actually reaching to buying your product requires some different types of communication or different tools that you use for them to be able to now buy your product. Yeah, now that you've the customer now is now buying your product. We have some of things that influences purchase. So we can talk of, we have very many factors that influence purchasing decisions, including the product benefit. Like, let's say you're buying face products, something that will influence purchase says, what are the benefits? What is it? What is in for me? The emotional appeal also, and also recommendations, which I feel like recommendations are highly. Ukiona, let's say, skin products ime work na mtu mwingine, you'd want to try. So recommendation from someone, feedback from a friend, referral, you're talking about referral, actually also works. So these are some of the things that influence purchase in terms of now customers now buying your product. So understanding these factors can help you tailor your communication to effectively influencing your consumer. Understanding what the factors that will help purchase, understanding that will actually help you to be able to influence your consumers in buying your product, or for them to be return customers and actually be buying them, keep coming back. Yeah, okay, so in this part where we now talk about inform, persuade, remind. This is now in terms of these are marketing communication, which serves the three functions of informing customers about your product, persuading them to choose it. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I was saying when you talk about inform, persuade, and remind, we're talking about the stages where you inform customers about your product. There's now persuading them to choose your product, and reminding them now to keep coming back. And we can see that these strategies work together to create awareness, build preferences, and drive loyalty. So in all that you've talked about in marketing communication, this is what it narrows down into: informing through social media. Maybe you're doing digital marketing. Yeah, informing through digital marketing, through online communication, or using the traditional way of word of mouth or everything. It narrows down in how you inform, how you persuade your customers to now buy your product, to them now preferring your product and actually buying it, to now reminding them to keep coming back, to, come back for more and more and more. And so I think that's what I am to cover today. Peter has some of the things that he's going to cover. And we thank you for all those that have shared insight. Thank you, UGC Naturals, Maggie, Mercy, for all your insight and advices you've given. I hope that one or two things have been noted. Because on my end, actually, I've also noted some things down. Yeah. So Peter maybe could take us through some of the other things that we are supposed to cover in today's session.
Yes. Morning, everyone. So I think we just have a few minutes to give time. So I think from going forward, I think we should just train, and then we can have the discussions tomorrow in the physical session. So Jessica, can I share the screen?
Yes, sure. Let me stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope everyone can see my screen. Jessica? Yes, so it was a good discussion. Actually, I liked it. The fact that it was interactive and it was not one way. I think going forward, I think I should to start from here. So now that I've heard that most of you are focusing on digital marketing and the other kinds of marketing, so there are several ways in which you can use effective communication to ensure that the market that you put across can lead to lead generation, or it can convert 100%. So one of the things that you should be doing, just a minute. Yes, so in developing an effective communication, the first thing you should know is you should know your target audience. For example, if Signature is targeting a certain group of people, that is the audience. And then for marketing, it's always good to know your objectives. Know the several things that you're trying to achieve through that communication. So, for example, the first objective can be to transform or to generate reads, 100% reads from maybe social media, especially Facebook. Another objective can be to get your brand known through ads, especially for Facebook ads. Facebook ads have that tendency of not generating leads, but getting your brand known out there. So if you post on Facebook for an advert, unapatanga like there are several people, a lot of people. Just a minute. So if you after targeting your target, after getting a target audience, the second thing you should do is to determine the objectives. I get to know what is it that I want from my audience. If I'm using Facebook, what is it that I want from my audience from Facebook? And then the next thing is you design your communication. Nowadays, communication is key when it comes to communication, when it comes to getting your message out to the customers. So when you're getting a message out to the customers, you should be able to know, like, this is what my customers resonate with. For example, nowadays, people don't want a lot of stories. Wanataka to go direct to the message. This is what you're trying to do. Another thing that people like nowadays in terms of communication is using the prominent names, the prominent tags. Unapata like out there, unapata maybe Gen Z, unapata must go, all those prominent tags. They are very good, especially when it comes to communicating in social media. The other thing is you select your channel. Various communications happen in various social media channels. For example, if you're using Facebook, Facebook is customized. You can write a whole story on Facebook. But when you go to Twitter, you just have 144 characters to write your message. When you go to LinkedIn, people expect a professional message. And then when you go to Instagram, you don't have to write a lot. Instagram is always about the hashtags and then getting direct to the point. This is what you're trying to achieve. And then after selecting the channels, you go to, you establish a budget. Know how much am I going to put in place for social media, especially for advertising. So okay, but like Facebook, if you're targeting a specific group in Eldoret, but the cost of having Eldoret is around maybe 500 a day. But if you are to expand your messaging to the wider North Rift region, like the cost has gone up because you're targeting a bigger number. So it's always about knowing how much are you willing to spend on this marketing campaign. The other thing is decide on media mix. So for the media, you nowadays talking about social media most of the time. Like if you are going for another advertising way, kama mainstream media, ama TV, radio, that they are good for passing the message, but they cannot give you lead analytics summary data on how many people are able to convert from the message you unapitisha through a TV or a radio. And then last but not least, on developing marketing communication, as you know how to measure results. So this measuring results, especially for things like Facebook, itakwambia directory, this is the amount of people, this is the people that your ad has reached. And if you progress further and then you develop something kama content management system, kama HubSpot, you can be able to know, like from Facebook and Atomic Convert, to buy the product that you advertised on Facebook. And then Rastri is manage integrated marketing communication. So it's always about everything plans down to you, to your management skills. How are you going to be able to know which target audience you should focus with, your objectives, design your communication, select the channels, establish a budget, and then the media mix itself. So the other thing, if I'm too fast, I'm gonna So after developing an effective marketing system, so the first thing,
Umezoea siku hizi.
I hope that you're getting something. I hope you're
Yeah,
getting
sure,
something.
sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Thank you. So in developing an effective system, the first thing I said is knowing your target audience. So marketing communication in a start now, the audience itself. So know the group of people that you want to buy your product. Jua like how many where are my target audiences? And this we have discussed mostly on the BMC, the business model canvases. We know like this is the target customers you want. Like for example, if Safaricom is targeting young people, especially for this brand, it was there in the between February to May. It was called Get Hooked. So when they were targeting Get Hooked, they were doing their marketing campaigns, summer communication using the young people because we were targeting Gen Zs, people under the age of 26 when you're not new star 555. So it happens that Safaricom knew this is our target audience and this is how we are going to make our communication. So the target audience will heavily affect your decision on what will be said, how it will be said, when it will be said, and what will be said, and who will say it. So, like for example, that Get Hooked campaign, they were targeting the young people. So walikuwa wanatafuta people prominent with young people, ama young people in bashi, kwa sherehe, young people in the universities, young people wakuwa mahali out in the field. So walikuwa wanaenda kurecord those people because they knew young people resonate with their age mates. So it can happen. When it comes to identify your target audience, I'll give you another example, the Sprite. So Sprite is a Coca-Cola drink. I hope kila mtu anaijua. So Sprite will come up after now the Safari Coca-Cola started as Coca-Cola. Walikuwa wanauza Coca-Cola the drink and the company was called Coca-Cola. So down the line wakaamua they came up with a new drink called Sprite. So Sprite ilianzaga US. So what happened with Sprite was made to be that cool drink. And when it comes to the cool notion, cool, we are talking about the young adults. If you go to maybe somebody mwenye amepita 50, unaanza kumwambia sijui cool, they'll be wondering, what are you saying about cool? What is cool? I don't care about cool. So Coca-Cola knew that our target audience for this drink Sprite is cool. That's why the adverts for Sprite, they're so different with other adverts. Unapata maybe they are bringing somebody, a young person, working hard in life, a young person anajaribu to make it in life, a young person ametoka kucheza basketball, ametoa jasho, but they want to cool down, then anachukua Sprite. So when it comes to identify your target audience, inakusaidia to know the kind of message you're going to pass out there. So for example, mwenye anadili na Active Hub, you are dealing with enterprises. So which message are you going to put out there for enterprises? Which kind of commercial or marketing message are you going to put out there for enterprises? The next time, if somebody wants to train their whole organization, they want to bring their enterprise for maybe training, acceleration, business related master classes, they know that the message you put out there, that's what it will convert. The moment it comes that you're putting an ad, a commercial out there and it's not giving you results, it's because you did not identify the target audience, the actual people you want to benefit from that advert, from that commercial. That's why you see vitu kama Weetabix when they are marketing out there, wanaletanga cartoons hapo hivyo, maybe wanatafuta ndovu wanaweka kwa hiyo video, and then the kids in school, a kid going to school asubuhi wana record taking breakfast, they don't take adults waweke hapo kwa Weetabix, hata kama ni adults atabuy Weetabix, they are marketing to the kids so that the kids can influence the parents, amwambie mimi nataka Weetabix, mimi sitaki kitu kingine. So they are marketing directly to the kids are their target audience. So to define your market, kuna vitu you should remember. Now one of them is being specific. A broad market is not safe for a business. So what happens, the moment you say una target people from maybe North Rift, unasema my whole market is no thrift. So no thrift has several characteristics. No thrift iko na to the General X, Gen X, the silent generation, iko na millennials, iko na baby boomers, iko na Gen Zs, and then iko na Generation Alpha. So Generation Alpha ni wenye walizaliwa 2013, Gen Z ni wenye walizaliwa 1997, millennials ni watu wa, I think 94 ama 86, I don't know clearly. And then we have Gen X, ama the silent generation, wanda walizaliwa huko 1960s. And then we have baby boomers, wenye walizaliwa 1940s ama 1930s to go, kuja hivi juu. So the moment tumeamua kufocus the whole wider market, unapata like my messaging, I resonate with a specific group of persons. Unapatanga if Safaricom is marketing M-Pesa, they market with people in the rural areas, wana market na watu wenye like businesses, because they wanaleta business aspect of marketing, because they know watu wengi wanataka kulipa na M-Pesa, na like most people who are receiving cash wako mashinani, like they are the parents wenye wako mashinani, and the kid is in town. When the kid is in town, anamtumia pesa, maybe allowance, or maybe my parent get some cash. Now it's very easy to send money from Nairobi to Ocha. But the uwezi kuwapata wamekaa chini waseme, we are bringing marketers, when you're like just everybody, they say M-Pesa is something. They just bring a specific group of persons to pass out the message. We cannot focus on a wider market. We can just have to segregate the market to this kind of messaging inafaida to that specific group of people. And then another thing for defining your market is looking at how competitors describe themselves, how they are putting their message out there in social media. So it's always good to keep an eye on what other people doing, what you're doing, wanafanya huko nje. It's always good to know what's working. So the moment your competitor is doing something in a work, like for example, unapata, let me use the example of Safaricom and Airtel. So unapata, like sometimes when Safaricom decides we are going to give out free SIM cards, and then Airtel okay, if Safaricom is giving out free SIM cards and people are accepting it, mbona sisi tusipeane free SIM cards because it's working? So it's always good to look at what your competitors are doing and then trying to borrow. You just call it borrow. Try to borrow from what they are doing. And then always know your elevator pitch. What is that one thing you tell people about your business? The moment you go and you don't, when I was building the business profiles for most of you, like the messaging you cannot use it to sell it up there. Like you need to have that one liner. You need to have that one a message that you should be able to be telling people about your business. For example, a good proprietor, a good founder, a good business owner, lazima ajue kuelezea their business to the grandmother. If unaenda upate an old person mahali, how are you going to be able to tell them about your business? Ukienda upate a 7-year-old child mahali, utamwambia aje kuhusu biashara yako, I understand. That's the whole concept of the elevator pitch. Like in a business, you describe like everyone else, like that grandmother or that 7-year-old. Like you have to convince them about their product. So it's always good to know what is that one-liner that you have that you can use as an elevator pitch. And then to know your target customers, you have to consider the following. We have talked this about segregating, on agenda, the kind of work they do, their interest, their political beliefs, shopping, all of those. So be able to know like who are your specific customers. So I will not delve much into that due to we have discussed this so much. So for the target market, hapa hivi wametumia the four piece of marketing mix. Wamesema for the product, ask yourself, what does the customer want from your product? When it comes to the price, what is the value that your product is giving to the buyer? When it comes to the price, and ask yourself, where do customers look for your product or services? For example, I had Happy Music say most people are on Facebook, and then when they come to Eldoret, they remember, okay, I know Happy Music is from Eldoret. So they got your message through Facebook or social media. So that's why your customers hear about your product. So you should invest more on, you should invest to have like somebody's ama your dedication iko kwa Facebook penye na kudrivia that engagement. People are saying, okay, if I got to, if like for example your business say, if today I post something on Facebook, I'm expecting sometimes, if not right now, maybe by the end of the day, somebody will just come to my shop and say, okay, I saw your advert on Facebook and it was saying this and this. And then when it comes to promotion, unajiuliza where and when can you get access to, where can you get across your marketing messages to your target audience. Promotions, we said it can be that one-on-one, it can be social media advertising, inaweza kuwa referrals, most people akisema referrals, which is a very good effective way ya kujua, like for referral, unajua the person going to speak about your business, they're going to do it positively because they're expecting a cash reward afterwards. So when it comes to strategies, especially kwa target audience, there's something we have discussed, it was SWOT analysis. So this is the SWOT analysis of Coca-Cola. So for Coca-Cola, they understand when it comes to messaging, one of their biggest strength is their brand value. Coca-Cola, when Jessica was teaching about brand recognition and brand recall, so every time when it comes to brand recall, when somebody says, which is the ni soda gani unakunywanga, everybody's just going to say Coca-Cola because they just relate Coca-Cola with soda. So if somebody asks you for a drink, you just say Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola related products. So unapata their biggest strength is their brand value, which stands at about $77 billion. $77 billion is about how many trillion? That is about 7 trillion or 7 to 9 trillion Kenyan shillings. So that's their brand value. And then the Coca-Cola every year they spend, I think they spend the biggest money every year on marketing. I think if Siko wrong, it was supposed to be, they spend a lot in the billions. Every year they spend in the billions in terms of marketing. Their weaknesses in Akuja, the fact that the generation, the young people are changing. Carbonated drinks, they're saying, okay, Coca-Cola has sugar and it make you fat. I'm having this drink every day. Right down the line, of course, illnesses due caffeinated anything that's the chemicals that they use to make the product. And then the opportunities they have is as long as the young people are saying we are not taking carbonated drinks, some caffeinated drinks, we are fearing the sugar thing in Coca-Cola, they are bringing up new products. The people are now turning to no sugar, they want something to do with fruits related rather than fruit chemicals. They want just the exact fruit in the product. So there's that growing market. That's the Coca-Cola is now focusing with. Unapata Coca-Cola has with no sugar. They are selling other drinks kama they have other sodas they are selling. I don't remember the name of that sodas. But they have Minute Maid. I think Minute Maid is from Coca-Cola. So that's an opportunity. And then the threats now, as the young people are changing away from carbonated drinks, unapata there are others. They are going to other alternatives. Now, other alternatives are unapata like other people coming up with drinks. Then this is healthy for you. So that fact that there are other emerging competitors, that's a big threat for Coca-Cola. And then water scarcity. So Imagine, Aisha, people, they said that the biggest commodity in future is going to be water. So there's that scarcity of water. So it's going to be a challenge for Akora to be able to be making this, because I think 70% a bigger chunk of what is in Akora is water. So it's water and then the other chemicals that are mixed to make that drink. So so when it comes to knowing your target audience, you can also take time to analyze your competitors, like I said earlier. So you should be able to take a look at what is the other guy that I'm competing with and afanya kwa market. Now, most especially if you don't have to spend a lot of time, you can just go to social media and then their accounts will just fuata kenya wanafanya. We'll just take the way they are structuring their posters, venye wana structure their captions, na the hashtags wanatumia, na how the response time in your nayo. If somebody is commenting under their article, how long does it take for the administrator of that account to respond to the customers? So ukijua that those simple analytics, najua utajua in future if I'm to do my posters ama if I'm to do my posts, nafaa niweke on this, like in this structure. This one helps most of the time. The competitors are dealing with the same customers as you are. So lazima uko in a position to say, I want to separate, I want to be able to do better than my competitor. And to do better than a competitor, you have to actually know what the competitor is doing. So the other thing is on, the second thing was the communication objectives. So when it comes to communicate objectives, Charles said we should do it in a buyer readiness stages. And there are 6 stages. So the first stage is awareness. Awareness is where you just make people aware. You want your marketing message to make people aware about your product, about your company, or about your team, about the industry that you are in. If you especially, for example, somebody, Sinatural is doing something different. She's making cosmetics from plant-based materials. So you want to make people aware that there are other alternatives. Petroleum jelly from petroleum, you should be able to be using something that's natural, something that's organic. So you can be putting the message out there to make people aware about the industry, aware about the progresses that are there, and then make them aware you're taking part in spreading that message through your products. And then the other thing is knowledge. Knowledge also can happen, like I said, you make people know about the exact thing that you're trying to do, about the exact industry that you are in. And then the other thing is ranking. How do you want people to respond to your message? You can use follower based messaging. Ambia mtu like if somebody comments under your post, you can use that to create another post. It'll make the rest feel like, okay, so we are being appreciated. So in future, we are going to accept the message because we are being appreciated, or somebody is looking up to what we are doing so far. So the other thing is preference. You want people to like be able to choose you over your competitor. You want people to say, I'm following Sinatural because I'm now in the climate conscious manufacturing. I don't want to put chemicals, anything that's not good for me in my skin. And then the other strategy you can be putting out there is convention. You want people to say, okay, so the reason I'm following Sinatural is because now I'm a big follower. I want to, you want your message to make people turn into followers. It comes to, you can have customers and then you can have followers. So customers, they can buy from you and they can move, but followers will be there with you forever, through thick and thin. This happens mostly, let's use the example of the church. So in the church, churches have followers, they don't have customers. So even if a church will say anything wrong about the church, only a few people will leave. Most of them will stay behind because they'll be like, okay, so why do I need to leave? I believe in this and I'm part of this denomination. And then the other strategy you can have, which most of us are out there to do, is to make people buy from us. So you want to put a message out there that's going to make somebody buy whatever you are selling. So you should be in a position to do that. So when it comes to the objectives, unaweza ziclassify further. Unaweza sema like you're trying to reach people. And so most of the time, social media, ukitaka kureach watu wengi, it's always about kisha, actually tomorrow we'll be talking about digital marketing. So I hope it will be a physical session. I hope most of us unaweza kuwa available. It's going to be interactive, tutasaidia most, especially to know these things about reaches, engagement, acquisition, conversion, sales, retention, and loyalty. You have to know like, how am I going to structure my post? Do you make somebody be in a position to say, okay, I'm going to buy. I think, okay, so I think I can share this message because most of the time, sending a post, you want people to share. If a person shares, you can reach another market and yeah, it's not part of your following, I'm a part of your community. So you want people to share. So that comes especially as when you are looking for riches. And engagement, when you make a post, itafanya mtu comment, ama itafanya mtu like, ama itafanya mtu share. So those are they can be two different posts. So you are looking for reach, and you are looking for engagement. Engagement, unataka mtu aseme, okay, I think I should share my opinions under this post. And then acquisition is getting people to follow you. You want the message you're putting out there to make people say, okay, I'm in a position to follow this person, especially the young generation that we have at the moment. They are very conscious about the people they follow. Like, for example, I'll give you an example of me and my generation, Z. So Gen Z, kama mimi, I don't follow anybody because you're posting, ama because I use what you're doing. I follow you because I think you can be valuable to my, something we call timeline. I want you to be seeing your post in my timeline. I want algorithms to suggest kind of content I want, like the one that you're giving at the moment. So for example, for me, I'm a big follower of football. I also follow technology and I follow geopolitics. So utapata my own Twitter feed revolve around those three things. It's revolving around football, it's revolving around technology, and it's revolving around geopolitics. So utapata the people I follow, they're in those fields. If you're not in those fields, I'm not going to follow you. So ask yourself, what is it that's going to make people is going to get that customer to subscribe to Ama to follow you on social media pages. The other thing is conversion. Yes, maandamano ilisha. You're back to reality. So the other thing you want is conversion. Conversion is where you want the people seeing your message to be your customers, ama to be your subscribers. And this mostly never happen for businesses like the Eldohub. For Eldohub, we do have HubSpot. So we let HubSpot manage our content. So the moment to post something on social media, tunataka mtu mwenye ana view that message anaweza subscribe to our newsletter. The moment somebody subscribes to our newsletter ama mailing list, we can be able to communicate future events and future products through email. Now, email is the best way of digital marketing because they say for $1, and that's 130 shillings that you spend on email marketing, you get a return on investment of about $40 other dollars. So $40 is around 6,000. So if you spend 130 shillings, you should be expecting a return of around 6,000 shillings through mailing lists, because emails, people like to read their emails. You're expecting somebody to contact you about the job, and then probably they don't, but the message unapata ni a signature telling you they have a new offer, they have a new product line for the young generation. They're saying, okay, young people wanataka to maintain their own skin texture. They want, if I'm from Africa, I'm from Kenya, and I'm black, and I'm from Central Kenya, and this is the skin color of that, this is the skin component of that area, I want to maintain it. Staki ni a black person from maybe Nigeria, I don't want to look like that, maybe I want to look like a person like the way people, my ancestors were looking before then. And then you want to be able to generate the sales. The other person akiona message, they're not just ignoring it. If you say you have a promotion, ama you are clearing the shelves, ama you have a new you have a reward for maybe a 10% off, ama if you buy today you get free shipping. You want people to take up that message like a bushfire. And then kuna retention. You want people akibuy leo akiona that message, ukifanya reach, engage, umwacquire, you do that conversion, na ushamuzia, utaki aishe, unataka arudi. You want them to come back and become, if they are buying monthly, you want them to be buying this product monthly. And then it's royalty. Royalty comes down to followers. Unataka the customers yeye mwenyewe hadi angozi. If you're launching a new product, yeye ndo anakuwa kwanza kwenda kuambia watu, okay, Sinatural has launched a new product line for the Gen Zs. So you should be able to check out kwa kama rafiki yangu, ama you as my partner, so you should be able to check that product and useme, okay, I'm going to buy, you should buy from Sinatural. You're only referrals that you're not paying for. It's something people, the community that you have, are sharing with your product freely. So after defining your objectives, there's this table, which it's good, but it's kind of, you want to be in a serious time when it comes to social media to be able to know how it works. So the first thing you should know on the left-hand side is the customer's journey. And then you're looking at the intent, awareness, interest. You are crossing it against intent, awareness, interest, action, and following. So a customer, so for the customer journey, in terms of intent, you want a customer who has heard of a brand and has visited your website for the first time. So you want the customer, the journey customer from the intent. When it comes to creating that persona, you want to say your first persona is a curious customer. Mwenye hadi ajui why they are there, maybe anaweza kuwa they just wanted to see how your website looks like. Ama they just wanted to see, okay, so your social media inakaa hivi, what about your website? If you don't have a website, probably, I think most of you, by the end of this program, mnafaa mkuwe nayo. Tunaitanga Google Business Profile, ama GBP. So Google Business Profile ni like a page on Google where you can just write the details about your business, and then we upload up. If you upload up, anybody who's searching anything related to your product at that area yenye uko, they can see you pop out. So Google is doing it free for you. So for a customer who has gone to social media, maybe I can click the Google Business Profile, they can learn more about your business. Or you can just redirect them to your WhatsApp. WhatsApp business. Or you can direct them to give you an email or give you a call. So this is a curious customer. So hadi akikuja kwa email yako hata uliza vitu mingi. Maybe ni wale wenye ukifanya social media ads, which I think most of you have experienced. Person is asking you, tell me more about your business. Do it's a customized message in a finya, and then you use your WhatsApp directory. So that's a curious customer. So you want that curious customer to be aware. So what happens is, this person has been interacting with your product so far. Amekuwa akiona your products everywhere. Maybe umekuwa ukipost, ukifanya adverts kwa kuna this kind of adverts, they are called display advertising. So display advertising zenye unapatanga like Facebook. Umeenda tu Facebook unapata advert. Ama unaenda tu Instagram, Google, you're searching, you're reading through a blog, but then kia kimessage kinakuja, that's display advertising. So you want that display advertising, and then that display advertising kwa sharipia kitu inaitangwa retargeting advertising. So retargeting ni penye unashangaa mbona watu wananifuata, like ukifungua kitu, like for example, I want you to do this. Go and open Jumia. Shafungua Jumia, ingia kwa the products, one of the products. Alafu usinunue, ukifika like uweke kwa cart, but utoke usilipe. So that product is going to follow you everywhere. Utakuwa unaingia Facebook, ukiscroll kidogo Facebook, Jumia ndio hii na product yako ununue. Ukiingia Twitter, ukiscroll kidogo ndo hii. Ukienda vitu kama Instagram, ukienda kuread any blog inakufuata, so it's following you. That's called retargeting. So this is where your customer is already aware. So you want to describe your customer persona as somebody who is passive prospect is they know about your product, but they don't want to actively buy, they don't want to actively invest in take up what you are trying to sell. So the other thing is on interest. So for interest, this is the active customer who is interested in your product. Maybe in the past they have bought it and they were impressed and they are just there around. So you want to describe them as an active read. So if you are going to market, you have a higher advantage, the higher chance of them buying directly from you. So that's an interest. And then action. So this customer knows where about your product. They know the other options that are out there. So they know about your competitors. So this is a last mile purchaser. This is the person you should be very serious with. Do you want to disappoint? You just shift to the next competitor. So this happens especially for mobile phones. The mobile phones from China. So mobile phones from China. If you have a bad experience with Techno, trust me, in the future you'll never buy Techno. You just go. Maybe I will say this time I'm going to do Xiaomi. And then you try Xiaomi, and then Xiaomi disappoints you, and then you say, hey, Xiaomi, no. Maybe let me go to maybe Huawei. Then Huawei disappoints you, and maybe probably you decide, okay, now I'm tired with Chinese phones. I'm going to the higher end phones. I'm just going to invest money and buy a Samsung phone. Until you reach it and utasema, okay, now I've found the right product for me. So most customers have done their research in the action. So you want to be serious with this last mile purchaser. The person whose main objective is getting what they want, what works for them. And then the rest is the follower. So you want the persona who is a brand royalist. Like you don't need like this person hadi atakuwa na kumessage na kuambia this product of you, can it get to Mombasa? I have people I know in Mombasa, they just tell you I have a new customers. Can I start supplying for you? So, and they are not businesses; those are brand loyalists. So, I want the biggest supporter. Mtu akienda Twitter and then they talk bad about your business. Before you can go and defend yourself, these are the people who are going to defend your brand first. So, always strive to have that brand loyalist, the follower in your business. And then, so these are the Coca-Cola products, the energy drinks that are out there. So there is Coca-Cola, and see there's Powerade, there's Russians, there's a Russia, there is Monster Energy, so there's Schweppes. So these are the kind of products that Coca-Cola has. And don't think we have much to talk about Coca-Cola products. So when it comes to marketing messaging, the things that you should be considering, especially is setting a tone for your content. So nowadays, venye nimesema, we have several generations. Kuna generation Alpha, generation Z, generation millennials. Then we have generation X, the silent generation, and then we have baby boomers. So every target, every customer at every stage, they have their own tone. This is what they want to hear from you. When Safaricom is saying, before walikuwa nasema the better option, the generation Z generation, the millennials wamejua, okay, wanajua, okay, we have Airtel, we have Telcom, so I don't think you're the better option. We have other options. So wanakuja wanasema tuungane, that telling people let's join hands together and do something good. So I can see most of you are saying time is out. So I think we can proceed from there next time. So Jessica, you still in the call? So I think we're going to end here today. I don't know which page you are in, so maybe you can continue this another time. So tomorrow we're going to discuss about digital marketing. So come ready to start to set up maybe probably a Google business profile. And then if not a big Google business profile, social media accounts, and then you can develop a social media content strategy for your pages. So I'm going to end there. So asanteni for coming. So any question before anyone goes?
So we're meeting tomorrow at Eldohub, or it's the same
Yes,
virtual?
yeah, yes. So
10,
we're going
right?
to approve. Huh?
Tomorrow is 10, okay? Right?
Yes, 10 a.m. Yeah.
Please keep time, people, keep time.
Yeah, so it just become 10 to 12. So because some of us are coming from far.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're going to upload this video on YouTube, and then we can send you the link if you want to refer to it in future. Sawa, asanteni. Let's see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.